All right, let's dive into a pretty dark fantasy parable, one that's built around a really radical idea, that sometimes to create a future, you actually have to destroy the past. Now, this isn't just a story about gods and heroes. At its core, this is an explainer on why breaking down old systems is absolutely essential for any real growth.
It all kicks off with this powerful, kind of paradoxical statement, right? A creator, God, who chooses destruction. This single thought is what fuels the entire story, and it sets the stage for this massive cosmic drama that has some really profound things to say about how we think about progress.
So, let's meet our architect. In Act 1, we're introduced to the god Wotan, and it's really important to get this. He's not some simple tyrant. No, he's a wise creator who brought structure, order, and meaning to a universe that was pure chaos. What's fascinating is where Wotan gets his power. See, he was the god of poetry and sacred runes, so his strength wasn't about brute force, it was language itself. He mastered the word, using his eloquence to literally write the laws of reality into existence. And this mastery creates what we can call a structured reality. Just imagine a universe where every single law, every principle of order, is physically carved as a rune onto one object, Wotan's spear. So it wasn't just a weapon, you see. It was the constitution of the entire cosmos.
And this really hammers home the central concept of his rule. That spear was the tangible, physical representation of his perfect, stable, divinely ordered universe. It was the ultimate symbol of control, of predictability, and for a while, that was a gift. But as we roll into Act 2, we start to see the dark side of all that perfection. Because a system that's built to last forever, well, it can very easily become a cage. The very thing that gave the universe order was about to become its greatest prison.
You know, the promise was so simple and so seductive. A world without chaos, a universe with perfect, unchanging stability. I mean, think about it. A reality where the rules are always clear and the path is always set. Who wouldn't want that?
But the reality was grim. That perfect stability just bled into something else entirely, unproductive stagnation. Because when nothing can ever change, nothing can ever grow. The universe had become this beautiful, perfectly preserved fossil.
So let's break down how this decay really took hold. The divine frameworks he created were totally inflexible. They couldn't adapt. And this led to this universal, complacent inactivity. I mean, why would you strive for anything when all the rules are already written for you? There was no friction, no challenge to spark evolution. And the most tragic part, this perfect system completely stifled the mortal spirit, that basic human need to struggle, to overcome, and to grow.
And this leads to Wotan's central impossible dilemma. He can see the prison that he's built, he understands the decay, but how on earth do you fix a system when your own authority, your very being, is the system? What do you do when the problem is you?
Well, his answer is shocking and completely paradoxical. He chose to orchestrate his own downfall. Wotan realized that for the cosmos to have any kind of future, his own authority had to be torn down. He made the choice to will his own end.
And that incredible decision brings us to our final act, the dawn of freedom. An agent of change is about to step onto the stage, not to fight the god, but actually to fulfill the god's secret wish for destruction and rebirth.
This contrast right here is everything. On one side, you've got Wotan. He represents the old order, divine authority, the architect of that beautiful prison. And on the other side is Siegfried. He's the new humanity. He's self-determination. He's the liberator who has no idea he's actually fulfilling a divine plan.
So the stage is set for the final showdown. And here it is, the unmovable object, Wotan's spear, etched with the ancient, unchangeable laws of a dying, stagnant universe. It is the ultimate symbol of the old way.
And here comes the irresistible force, Siegfried and his blade. He represents a new kind of humanity, someone who isn't bound by the old rules, who's driven by pure will and the need to strive. He's a force of change that, by the god's own secret design, cannot be stopped.
And then we get the climactic moment. The irresistible force meets the unmovable object. Siegfried's sword strikes Wotan's spear, and the cosmic law itself just shatters into a million pieces. It is the end of an era. It's a sound that echoes through the cosmos as the final, willing surrender of divine authority.
So what rises from the ashes of that shattered spear?
Well, it's the end of absolute divine authority. It's the destruction of that cosmic stagnation. But the most important thing is the birth of human striving. This idea that meaning and wisdom aren't just given to you, they have to be earned. This is the new path to enlightenment.
And that brings this whole epic cosmic parable right back down to us, doesn't it? It forces us to ask a really tough question. What are the rigid, self-imposed laws in our own lives? What perfect systems have we built for ourselves that are now just holding us back? What spear, etched with old rules, needs to be broken for us to finally truly grow?